Rishi Sunak loves cricket. He may not look very good at it, but he likes it. We've seen him many times with bat in hand, but this time he was bowling. A googly to his political rivals. On Wednesday evening, Sunak turned up outside his office, number 10 Downing Street. There was quite a bit of rain around, but the Prime Minister went ahead. He announced that he was calling for elections.
The King has granted this request, and we will have a general election on the 4th of July. These uncertain times call for a clear plan and bold action to chart a course to a secure future. You must choose in this election who has that plan.
The optics were not good. Loud music playing in the background, rain all over his suit. None of it looked very appealing, but Sunak had made up his mind. Elections will be held on the 4th of July. It was a surprise to some of his cabinet members. Apparently, even the finance minister did not know. Plus, a lot of Conservative MPs are unhappy. They think Sunak should have waited, maybe called the elections by the end of 2024. So I guess the question is, why did the Prime Minister do it? Well, this is a snap election, meaning it's being held ahead of time. Britain's elections were scheduled for January next year. But Rishi Sunak has moved it up. It's not clear why. One reason could be the economic data. Britain's inflation numbers were published this week. It was around 2.3% in April, a bit lower than what was predicted. Also, Britain has exited a technical recession. Their GDP grew by 0.6% from January to March. That's the highest rate in 2 years, 0.6%. So maybe Prime Minister Sunak thought, this is the chance. The economy won't get better than this, so might as well capitalize. Another reason could be leadership challenge. There were rumors of rebellion this month. Apparently, some Conservative MPs were plotting to oust Sunak. But that won't matter now because elections have been called. So Sunak will lead the Conservative Party. Which brings us to the campaign. All parties have hit the ground running. Today, Labour leader Keir Starmer held his first rally. He promised to rebuild the country.
If you want change, you have to vote for it. And if you vote Labour, it's a vote to stop the chaos. It's a vote to turn the page. And it's a vote to rebuild our country together. For a government to leave after 14 years, our country, with living standards worse than when they started, is absolutely unforgivable.
It's a great chance for Keir Starmer. He's not your Tony Blair sort of firebrand leader, but frankly, he doesn't need to be. Conservatives have ruled Britain for 14 years. Ideally, that should have given stability. One party ruling for 14 years. But not in Britain. They've had 5 prime ministers and 7 finance ministers in this time. One of the PM's Liz Truss lasted less than 50 days. So most British voters are quite fed up. They don't need Starmer to be extraordinary. They need him to be boring. And opinion polls support it. They show Labour Party with 41% votes and Sunak's Conservatives at 20%. If these numbers hold, it could be a landslide win for the opposition. The question is, can Prime Minister Rishi Sunak turn it around? Well, his pitch is quite clear. I am the man who guided Britain through crises. First as Finance Minister, then as Prime Minister, and he's got a point there. Just look at all of the events of the last few years. The Wuhan virus pandemic, Russia's war in Ukraine, tensions in the South China Sea, and now a war in West Asia. All of these have contributed to Britain's economic crisis. Plus, it wasn't just Sunak's mess. His predecessors created most of it. But getting this complicated message across will be hard. The Prime Minister made an effort today. He posted a video on social media.
The coronavirus has hit the UK.
Putin announced the military operation just before 3 a.m.
More than 700 Israelis are now feared dead.
Russia is now placing its economy on a war
Breaking
footing.
news,
China
in a major
and
escalation
Russia
of the crisis in the
there are
Middle
no
East.
limits for
Iran has started a direct attack on Israel.
I half expected a caption at the end of that. Rishi Sunak in and as 007. Great filmography. But young Britons would probably say cringe. And that's his biggest challenge, messaging. Today, the Prime Minister visited a pub in Wales. He decided to talk football. The Euro Cup is starting next month, so Sunak asked if the locals were excited about it. But he missed one tiny detail. Wales has not qualified for the Euros.
Is he looking forward to all the football?
Not so much my bag. But
Well, get people in.
No, but that's because you guys aren't in it.
Well, to get people out, there'll be people coming. It'll be good summer.
Same in Scotland. Their leader is not too happy about the election dates. He says it's disrespectful. Why is that? Because July 4th is the first week of holidays in Scotland. So my point is quite simple. Rishi Sunak cannot seem to catch a break. He probably wanted to surprise his rivals with the announcement, but his googly is looking more like a full toss.
Firstpost reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. South Africa goes to the polls on the 29th of May. I will track the election and bring you ground reports. Is it the end of the road for the African National Congress? And will former President Jacob Zuma stage a dramatic comeback? From elections to climate change, to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global south. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.